Welcome back to another deep dive. You know how much we all love to poke around and see what's really going on behind the scenes, and so today we're doing exactly that, but this time with internet searches.
Ooh.
Yeah, the things that people are typing in.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
All those kind of quirky, sometimes funny, sometimes just what is going on here? Searches that we've all done.
Right. And it really is a fascinating thing to look at. Like, what are people actually searching for out there? What does that tell us about ourselves as, humans in the digital age?
Well, and not only are we going to be looking at some real searches from real users, we're also going to be playing with some Google autofill. So, you start typing something in and you see what it suggests.
Right. And those are based on millions of other searches.
Exactly.
So it's not just random. It's like, what are the trends?
And then we're even going to be throwing some of these searches to an AI.
Oh, fun.
See how it responds to them.
Yeah.
Also.
How does artificial intelligence handle the weirdness of human curiosity?
Exactly.
I'm excited to.
Okay, so let's start with something I think we've all experienced. This is the good old Google autofill.
Right.
You start typing, and Google tries to finish your sentence for you. Sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes it's
Downright bizarre.
downright bizarre.
Yes.
So, I was playing around with this earlier, and it's really interesting what it suggests, but it is based on what millions of other people
It is.
are actually searching for.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Google's holding up a mirror to our
collective consciousness.
our collective anxiety,
Right.
our curiosity.
All of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's normal? What's,
What is normal, right?
what are we all thinking about?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
Okay, so let's play this game a little bit. So if you type in why do I,
Mm-hmm.
and then just let Google take the wheel,
Oh.
what are some of the things you find?
Well, you get a lot of the predictable stuff, like why do I always feel tired or why do I procrastinate? But then you get into the real head scratchers. And one that I found was, why do I hear boss music? That was one of the suggestions.
Wait a minute, Google thinks my life is about to become some sort of video game challenge.
Yeah. Is it picking up on our collective obsession with video games and dramatic narratives? Or is it trying to tell you something?
I don't know.
Maybe it is. I mean, it's like the algorithm is getting inside our heads somehow.
Right, because, that's not something you would just come up with on your own. I feel like that's got to be coming from somewhere.
Right. It's tapping into something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also reveals how our online experiences can seep into our subconscious, even things like gaming, and then it affects how we perceive the world.
Right.
So, wow.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, what about, is it normal to?
Oh, so many good ones there.
Right.
One that I found was, is it normal to be afraid of ducks?
Ducks.
Ducks.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't particularly like ducks, but to be afraid of them?
They can be a little aggressive sometimes, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, you're not running away screaming
Right.
from a flock of ducks.
But this is interesting, right? Because why are we typing this into Google?
Why are we looking for this validation?
Right.
Are we seeking reassurance that our fears, even if they're totally irrational, are shared by other people?
Right. It's like,
Is this normal? Am I the only one?
yeah, am I the only one?
Yeah, and so Google becomes this digital therapist in a way.
Right.
It's not just an information source anymore.
It's like we're looking for validation.
Yes.
For our feelings,
Yeah.
for our experiences.
Totally. And that raises some big questions about how technology is shaping our understanding of what's normal.
Right. What even is normal anymore?
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
So that's the autofill.
That's autofill. Let's move on because we got to the real juicy stuff here.
This is the stuff that people are actually typing into the search bar.
All right.
Not just suggestions, full on, I need an answer to this question.
Lay it on me.
And these are the things that, you read them and you're like, what is happening in people's minds?
Right. But I think that's what makes it so fascinating.
Right.
Because these seemingly nonsensical searches, they can give us insight into human psychology, our relationship with technology, and maybe even the limits of language itself,
Okay, so hit me with your best shot.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the most bizarre searches you've uncovered in your research?
All right. Well, for starters, we have, can I marry my toaster?
Okay.
Now, I love toast as much as the next person, but marriage seems like a bit of a stretch.
Unless it's one of those fancy toasters that make avocado toast.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe. Then I could be persuaded, but
But it's interesting, right? Why would someone type that in?
Right.
What is the thought process there?
I think it's probably a joke.
Probably.
But there's also, this element of we like to personify objects.
Right.
Like we name our cars, we give names to our plants, so why not?
Yeah, why not a toaster?
Why not the toaster?
Especially if you're lonely.
Especially if you're lonely.
Right? Yeah, I mean, maybe the toaster's the only one who really gets you.
Okay, so moving on from toasters.
All right, what else we got?
What else is on the internet's wish list?
Okay, how about this one? Do penguins have knees?
Okay, that one's actually kind of cute.
Right.
It's like,
Genuine curiosity.
yeah, I actually don't know the answer to that question.
They do.
They do. They're just hidden under all the feathers.
Oh,
yeah.
So the internet can be educational?
It can be. All right, so that was a cute one. Now let's get a little bit more serious. How about, can I sell my kidney on eBay?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so that went from 0 to 100 real quick.
That escalated quickly.
So that's less about cute penguin knees and more about
questionable decision-making.
Questionable decision-making and also probably illegal.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea, but it does highlight,
It does.
this potential darker side of the internet.
Right. That it can be used to, facilitate risky or illicit activities.
Right. So just because you see it on the internet doesn't mean it's a good idea or legal.
Exactly.
Okay. Give me one more search that just sums up the weirdness of the internet for you.
All right. How about this? Why do cats stare at me like they're plotting my death?
Oh, yeah. Every cat owner in the world right now is like, yep, I relate.
I mean, it's not even weird. It's just like...
It's just life.
It's life with cats, right?
It's life with cats, right?
And it perfectly captures our, sometimes paranoid, sometimes humorous relationship with these creatures.
Right.
But it also raises the question, are these oddball searches just harmless fun, or do they reveal something deeper about us?
Well, that is a question that we are going to explore further, but first we need to take a quick break.
Right.
So when we come back, we're going to be feeding these bizarre user searches to an AI.
Oh, this is going to be good.
To see what happens.
Can't wait.
So don't touch that dial.
All right. So those bizarre user searches we were just talking about? Well, I thought it'd be fun to see what would happen if we took things a step further.
Oh, okay.
And we fed those searches to an AI.
Ooh. Okay, so we're asking a robot to make sense of the nonsensical.
Exactly. What could possibly go wrong?
All right. I'm intrigued. What happened?
Well, the results were pretty surprising, I have to say.
Talk
It's
more.
like the AI has been eavesdropping on our conversations, and it's absorbing our sense of humor.
Okay, so lay it on me. What kind of AI-generated wisdom did we get?
Okay, well, remember that burning question. What would happen if I microwaved my iPhone?
Please tell me the AI didn't recommend trying this at home.
Don't worry, it didn't, but it did say, and I quote, your microwave will beep for the last time your iPhone will achieve nirvana and your bank account will cry.
Okay, first of all, that's hilarious. But second of all, the AI understands the concept of a bricked phone, a depleted bank account, even throws in a little philosophical metaphor.
Right.
Pretty impressive.
It is impressive, and it also kind of suggests that the AI is developing this ability to not just process information, but to frame it in a way that's both humanist and insightful, like it's gently mocking our self-destructive tendencies.
Oh, so the AI has a dark sense of humor. I like it.
I think so.
Okay, what other gems did it come up with?
Okay, how about this one? So we asked the age-old question, how do I become a millionaire overnight?
Right. Who hasn't Googled that at 2 a.m.? So does the AI have the secret formula?
Well, here's what it said. Be born as Jeff Bezos. If this option is unavailable, please try again in another lifetime.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the AI knows who Jeff Bezos is. It understands the concept of wealth, and it even acknowledges the absurdity of instant riches. It's like, nice try, buddy, but life doesn't work that way.
Exactly. And by even referencing Jeff Bezos specifically, it shows that it's not just spitting out these generic responses.
Right.
It's able to tap into this cultural knowledge and apply it in a way that's both relevant and amusing.
This is getting seriously meta.
I know. It's pretty wild.
Okay, I have one more search I want to throw at you. This is the final AI test. Can I train my dog to do my taxes?
Ah, yes. The dream of every procrastinating taxpayer. What did the AI Oracle have to say about that?
It said only if your dog has a CPA license, otherwise prepare for an audit and an angry IRS agent.
That's amazing. It not only understands professional qualifications and the consequences of tax evasion, it also delivers it with this humor.
Because the AI is a comedian and a financial advisor all in one.
Exactly.
So what does all this tell us about the current state of AI? Is it just mimicking humor, or is there something more profound going on?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think these responses suggest that AI is moving beyond just processing information and generating text. It's starting to show this understanding of humor, context, even human emotion.
So we're not just talking about clever algorithms. We're talking about like artificial wit.
It certainly seems that way. And that raises some pretty fascinating and maybe slightly unsettling questions about the future of AI. I mean, can a machine truly understand humor? Can it be genuinely witty? And if so, what does that mean for us?
It's mind-blowing to think that we're like on the verge of a world where robots can not only do our work, but they can also make us laugh.
It's a future that's both exciting and potentially challenging.
Right.
But one thing is clear, the line between human and machine is becoming increasingly blurred.
And that, my friends, is where things get really interesting.
Now let's step back from the AI for a moment and think about what we've learned from all of these internet searches. What do you think is like the biggest takeaway for our listeners today?
You know, after spending all this time with these internet searches, I kind of feel like the internet is just this giant digital confessional booth.
Yeah.
People are just like typing in like their deepest fears, their like wildest dreams, everything.
What is it's like a window into, our collective psyche.
Right.
And what's so interesting is that these searches, as bizarre as they might seem on the surface, they actually reveal a lot about us as a society.
Yeah, like we're seeing these anxieties about technology, this longing for connection, even a bit of dark humor to like cope with the uncertainties of life.
Exactly. And the fact that AI is now able to like interact with these searches in such a sophisticated way, it just adds a whole other layer to the conversation.
It's amazing and also a little bit unnerving.
Right. It's like, are we on the verge of creating machines that understand us better than we understand ourselves?
Right.
It's a question we'll definitely have to grapple with as AI continues to evolve. But I think for now, the most important takeaway is this: don't underestimate the power of curiosity.
Curiosity, you mean like the kind that leads you to Google, "Can I marry my toaster?"
Well, maybe not that specific example, but think about it. Every search, no matter how strange or seemingly trivial, starts with a question.
Right.
And that question, that spark of curiosity, it's what drives us to explore, to learn, to make sense of the world around us.
So you're saying that even those, why do I hear boss music searches? They have value.
Absolutely. They may not lead to groundbreaking scientific discoveries, but they do reflect a desire to understand our own experiences, even the absurd ones.
I guess it is a good reminder that sometimes like the most unexpected questions can lead to the most interesting answers.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe someday AI will be able to help us answer those questions in ways we never even thought possible.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into the weird and wonderful world of internet searches.
Yeah.
But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. The next time you're online, don't be afraid to embrace your curiosity. Ask those weird questions, explore those rabbit holes, and see where they lead you.
Because you never know what you might discover.
And who knows, maybe your search will end up inspiring the next great AI breakthrough.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the sometimes strange, sometimes hilarious, but always fascinating world of internet searches and AI responses. Until next time, keep those search bars busy.